A USB adapter is a type of protocol converter that is used for converting USB data signals to and from other communication standards. Commonly, USB adapters are used to convert USB data to standard serial port data, and vice versa. Most commonly, the USB data signals are converted to either RS-232, RS-485, RS-422, or TTL-level UART serial data. The older serial RS-423 protocol is rarely used anymore, so USB to RS-423 adapters are less common. USB to serial RS-232 adapters are often used with consumer, commercial, and industrial applications, and USB to serial RS-485/RS-422 adapters are usually mainly used only with industrial applications. Currently, USB to TTL-level UART converters are used extensively by students and hobbyists as they can be directly influenced to microcontroller interface. Damn it. Adapters for converting USB to other standard proprietary protocols also exist. However, they're usually not referred to as serial adapters. The primary application scenario is to enable USB-based computers to access and communicate with serial devices featuring D-sub, usually DB9 or DB25 connectors to screw terminals, where security of data transmission is not generally an issue. USB serial adapters can be isolated or non-isolated. The isolated version has optocouplers and or surge suppressors to prevent static electricity or other high voltage surges to enter the data lines, thereby preventing data loss and damage to the adapter and connected service devices. The non-isolated version has no protection against static electricity or voltage surges, which is why this version is usually recommended for only non-critical applications and at short communication ranges. Historically, most personal computers had built-in D-sub serial RS-232 port, also referred to as a COM port, which can be used for connecting a computer to most types of serial RS-232 devices. By the late 90s, many computer manufacturers started to phase out the serial COM port in favor of the USB port. By the mid-2000s, some computers had both serial COM ports and a USB port. However, many no longer had a serial COM port by that time, and today most modern computers have no serial COM port, but instead only USB ports. Since many serial devices with an RS-232, RS-485, or RS-422 port are still in use and even still produced today, the disappearance of a serial COM port from personal computers has created a need for the USB to serial adapter. As a simplified example, a typical standard USB to serial adapter consists of a USB processor chip which processes the USB signals. The USB processor sends the processed USB signals to a serial driver chip, which applies the correct voltages and sends the processed data to signals to the serial output. For the computer to be able to detect and process the data, signals drivers must be installed on the computer. Some chip models have drivers installed by default, including FTDI, while drivers for other chip models must be manually installed, e.g. for Windows and Mac OS. WCH, CH340, Silicon Labs, 210X. When the USB to serial adapter is connected to the computer via the USB port, the driver on the computer creates a virtual COM port, which will show up in a device manager on Windows and under /dev on Linux and Mac OS. This virtual COM port can be accessed and used as if it was a built-in serial COM port. However, the characteristics of virtual COM port are not exactly the same as a real internal COM port, mainly due to data latency, which means that if very sensitive and precise data is required, the USB to serial adapter might be unreliable and not a desired solution. Virtual COM drivers are usually available for Windows, Linux, and Mac only. time for some extra information. This is the standard USB. This is a wireless USB. This is a USB-C. This is a USB compared to a mini USB. This chart shows the progression of many types of USB over the years. It includes USB Type A, Type B, Type C, USB Mini A, Mini B, Micro A, Micro B, USB Micro B Super Speed,